Third Line News.
All right, what to do with Ben Simmons? The 76ers are continuing to gauge the trade market for offers for Ben Simmons this offseason. The team reportedly is placing a very steep asking price on him. Adrian Wojnarowski said that they are looking to get something similar to what the Rockets got for James Harden. Harden was sent to Brooklyn in a 4-team deal that saw Houston get 4 first-round picks. 4 pick swaps. And 3 players, including All-Star Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, you're not going to get close to that. First of all, Harden is a top 5 offensive player in this league. Defense is important. But Rudy Gobert is not Giannis because Giannis has an offensive game.
Correct.
So Ben Simmons is worth the first-round pick. I've said this before. If the Warriors, Joy, said, listen, we'll give you the number 7 lottery pick, Andrew Wiggins, and a pick swap. Okay. Because Andrew Wiggins on that team with Embiid actually would be a nice player.
Right.
And maybe they'd want James Wiseman to be thrown in. But you're not going to get an all-star and multiple picks for Ben Simmons. First of all, forget the fact he's terrified to shoot. And I go back to this, Joy. I'm not sure he's indifferent about getting better. Like, if a guy works hard and there's limitations, that's my career. The ceiling's low, but I work my arse off.
Yeah, okay.
But with Ben Simmons, what scares me, it's very Jay Cutler. Oh, I see the talent, but I think every other week you're indifferent to the game. I can't go there. I don't believe, I think, Joy, you can coach up almost anything. You cannot coach up indifference. That comes from...
No, I mean, you can't coach effort. And that's not to say that Ben Simmons doesn't try, but it's very obvious that either he is incapable of shooting the basketball or he is not interested in working on shooting the basketball.
That's worse.
Well, both are not good situations at this point in his career. I don't know how he all of a sudden just comes out and becomes this offensive juggernaut. Not that he needs to be that, but to have a reliable offensive game is pretty important. Now, I agree with you. I think he would be great with a team like Golden State because he doesn't need to be that.
And by the way, they're a small team. I mean, they have Wiseman, who's not really on the timeline of Steph or Clay or Dre. So I think if they gave you a 7 and a Wiseman, now it gets it, because Wiseman would be a top 3 pick this year. So you'd have 2 lottery picks.
I just think he needs to go somewhere where the fit is right.
No question.
Where he's not going to be counted on for any kind of offensive contribution. But I do think Ben Simmons still, I maintain, he has a lot of value because he is an elite defensive player.
And distributor.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. His average, he scores. He just can't shoot. I think Golden State works. I also think Portland's fascinating.
Yes.
Because Dame's a great offensive player, but is small and a defensive liability. Simmons is the opposite. So if you you made him a point forward. Portland needs somebody that can handle the ball and defend on the wing.
The only issue with Portland is expectations, because we know what Dame is and we know what he is offensively. So if you bring Ben Simmons into a situation where Dame is leaving, he's going to assume that role of Damian Lillard in Portland, and that is a big cross to bear.
Okay, how about this?
Being that that's also not his style of play.
Okay, so you're the GM of Portland. Now, they don't have any draft picks. I give you C.J. McCollum, averages 23 a game.
Yeah.
Okay, I give you Robert Covington, who was a Sixer. I like Robert. I think he can play. For Ben Simmons. See, I would take that because I got 2 guys that can hit a 3.
The Sixers are not going to do that.
Okay, well, that's
the Sixers are, if this is true and they want what Houston got for James Harden, which I don't think is...
They're not going to be close.
I don't think it's realistic, and they're not the same player. Harden is a significantly better player than Ben Simmons.
And Harden...
I don't want to hear about the defensive side of it. Like, the game is an offensive game now. Yes, defense still has some value. We saw that in these playoffs, but you're not relying on James Harden for defense.
Didn't Harden lead the NBA in assists? Harden now has become a top 3 scorer and a top 3 assist guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, he kept that team afloat this during the regular season.
When KD was hurt, he kept them winning.
Yeah, they're not going to get... I mean, I would be shocked if they got anything close to
here's what's crazy about this.
They got for Harden.
So I could have Embiid, C.J. McCollum, Tobias Harris, Robert Covington in the East. That feels like an Eastern Conference Finals team to me.
But what is Portland getting?
Ben Simmons.
I don't think it's enough. Because
I think...
I don't know. Maybe it works if Dame stays there, but if Dame is the one leaving, CJ maybe, but if Dame is the one leaving, that's too much to put on Ben Simmons.
There's an old saying, curiosity killed the cat, indifference killed the all-star. If you're an all-star player, but I feel you're indifferent, I struggle to trade for you. I can't coach indifference out of you.
No, you and I are the same. We don't like working and dealing with people that just don't care. It's fine.
It's a show.
We messed the segment up. It's fine. The graphics wrong. It's fine. It's like,
not who we are here. America's honesty brokers. We're grinders.
So Davante Adams and the Packers reportedly broke off their long-term extension talks recently. He's entering the final year of his current deal, and he made it very clear he wants to earn what he feels he's worth.
I like to say that have outperformed my past contract or my current contract. I'm not a baby, so I'm not gonna not show up, and I'm not complaining about it. At the end of the day, I'm not poor right now. I'll be okay to get through and go try to win a Super Bowl again. But what other profession do you take less than what you have earned? That's not how it goes. And I've earned the right to be paid highest in the league.
Well, he's earned the right to be paid a lot. Highest in the league is always, that lasts about a month, and then somebody else. He's earned the right to be very, very well compensated.
He's next man up. So next man up gets paid the highest in the league. He is arguably, him and DeAndre Hopkins are the 1 and 2 in the league. He has the numbers to certainly support being the highest paid in the league, and he's going to continue to produce as he's the highest paid in the league. So it's not one of those situations where you're paying him for what he's done and he's not going to continue to produce that. DeAndre Hopkins is currently the highest paid, and he, per average, makes $27.25 million per year.
Dang.
Davante Adams is slated to make about $16.8 million this season. So there's a significant difference in pay there. If I'm Davante Adams, I'm looking at it like this. If I'm going to stay in Green Bay, I absolutely have to be the highest paid in the league, because I don't know who's throwing to me past this year. So if I'm going to sign long term, and I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is not going to be there, I need to be the highest paid, and I need a really, really good contract with lots of guaranteed money.
That's just so much money for a receiver. It's crazy.
Well, look at it this way. If you're Green Bay, if you're going to lose Aaron Rodgers next year, which we are all assuming that this is the last dance for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, there's a lot of bad blood here. I don't see how they fix this after this season. I think this is just a Band-Aid for the situation. If Aaron Rodgers is gone and you have Jordan Love there, who, even if Jordan Love is good and competent, is not going to be as good as Aaron Rodgers next year, don't you want a target like Davante Adams available for Jordan Love? I would. So if either way, I believe he should be paid, and I don't think it's a bad move for Green Bay to do that.
Yeah.
So he will likely get paid. I don't know what the holdup is right now. I do think that Davante and Aaron kind of aligned over the last week to kind of push this over the finish line for this season, but I think he'll end up getting his money. So speaking of receivers, this situation is very strange. Michael Thomas will miss the start of the season thanks to an ankle surgery he had in June. Sean Payton is clearly very unhappy that his star receiver didn't get the procedure earlier.
It appears we're going to have to spend some time without him. It's disappointing, and we'll work through it with the other players that are here. But the surgery took place, and obviously, we would have liked that to have happened earlier than later. And quite honestly, it should have.
A really aggressive call out by Sean Payton.
No, it's very much Scottie Pippen, where it's like, dude, you wasted 2 months. Get your surgery.
I don't. Look, I know it happens, obviously, but I have a really hard time believing that he purposely did it to spite the Saints.
I don't, because last year, the stuff I was hearing from sources I trust, the relationship was weird.
They do have a weird relationship. Now, it could be one of those things where it's not necessarily that Michael Thomas is trying to spite the Saints, but he did not agree with their consultation, or his doctors were saying something different than the team doctors, similar to Kawhi Leonard's Spurs situation. Like, that's what could be going on here. I don't know. I struggle with a player of Michael Thomas's caliber purposely missing up to almost 6 games of the season because he didn't want to have surgery when the Saints recommended or wanted him to have it. But either way, Sean Payton coming out and saying that is very aggressive, especially for these times where stars are getting what they want and trades are flying around. And I don't know. This is just overall, the Saints, I'm very concerned about this season. They don't have their quarterback set. Michael Thomas is their star, one of their stars in the offensive side of the ball. He's not going to be available for 6 weeks. This is going to be a strange year for the Saints. So finally, Damian Lillard denied he was planning to ask for a trade from the Blazers, but there's still a lot of rumors about his future. The latest report said that he would be willing to forego some money in order to win a title. But Lillard is shutting that down too, responding to the report on Twitter with a face palm emoji. The tweet says, sources say Damian Lillard is willing to forego paychecks to get a title team if it comes to that. His teammate CJ McCollum also weighed in, tweeting, bruh, now he's saying you're giving bread back. And Lillard responded, and you know that ain't true. It's getting out of hand, bruv. So basically,